Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be unboxing and checking out the Magicsee P3 360 Action Sports Camera. That's right, we're going to be unboxing our first 360 camera on this channel, so let's get right into it. First things first, we have a really nice case right here. It's rubberized on the top and the bottom. It's all joined up with a nice cyan/teal colored zipper, and Magicsee logo right there, Magicsee logo right there. Very simple branding, really nice and sleek, as well as a keychain lock right there. Unzipping it, seems like we have a couple compartments. Over here we have a simple manual, a microfiber cloth, and it seems like we have the camera and a bunch of accessories. So let's take a look here. First of all, there's a goodie bag right there. This is probably the accessories to attach the camera to, and a real nice looking micro USB cable. This thing looks to be about 3 feet long. It's actually very thick, very high quality. It feels real good and nicely rubberized, so that's good to see. Probably going to be charging this up with this cable. Moving on, we finally seems like we have the camera itself in its own little microfiber like pouch. So that's pretty cool. Let's put things aside and check it out. So the manual comes in English as well as in Chinese, so that's pretty cool. I'll probably be reading this tonight for the full review. Moving in, we have a bunch of accessories. Let's take a look here. So here are the accessories, a bunch of mounts, of course, and yeah, so we'll find out how these go together and put them to use. There's also these two 3M double-sided stickers, so probably this is how you mount these things, and a rubberized piece of, I don't know what that is. So we'll find out what these are in the review. And there's one more thing, there's actually a silky-like lanyard. And finally, we have the camera itself, so let's take a look here. Alright, and there we go. So this is actually a really nice looking camera. It's got a nice heft to it, but yeah, let's take a look around here. So this thing is actually waterproof. It's got an airtight seal, and this is actually very interesting because unlike the LG 360 camera here, it is not waterproof. Here's the mounting point right there for the thing, as well as the airtight buttons for the case itself. So yeah, nothing much to look around the case, so let's uncase it and take a look inside. Comes out like that and opens up like so. This thing actually looks beautiful. Alright, so let's take a look at this thing. This thing actually looks amazing here. It actually has a really unique design indeed. First of all, we have a carbon fiber texture right there. Actually feels really good here. Again, simple Magicsee logo branding. Really like the simple branding here. And the lens itself, obviously, as well as a microphone right over there. And if you flip it around, it's basically the exact same thing. Logo, carbon fiber texture, camera, and microphone. So yeah, let's take a look at the top here. Alright, so it seems like we have a kind of a grippy texture right around the whole area here. And it actually feels real good. This thing is not going to slip around too easily. So it seems like we have a display right there, as well as a LED indicator. Moving on to the side, seems like we have a power button, a record, and up and down, and a bunch of other functions depending on what menu you're on. Moving on down here, it seems like we have the lanyard holes right there. So that's pretty cool. And on the bottom, we have the standard camera tripod mount. That is really nice to see. And moving on over, we have what seems like the battery compartment. So let's open that up. Alright, comes out like that. We got a rubber piece right there. And pulling it, we have the 1500 milliamp battery. So yeah, it's a 3.7 volt at 1500 milliamp for this little thing. So theoretically, this thing should actually give us a really good battery life, but who knows? We'll find out in the review itself. Alright, and moving on over, it seems like we have a speaker this time over there, and there is actually a gasket which houses the micro USB port as well as the SD card slot for a maximum of 64 gigabytes according to the website, but we'll find out if it accepts even bigger SD cards. Oh, and one last thing, it seems like there's actually yet another LED over there, and that might be the recording LED separated from the other LEDs to let you know that this thing is recording or whatnot. We'll find out. So let's power it on. It's pretty cool. This thing actually has a really high resolution display right here. I mean, not bad at all for what it looks like. Just wondering if it's actually color or just black and white. Guess we'll find out. So it seems like we have a bunch of information here. We have the type of recording. We have a circle. I don't know what that is. And it seems like the last 10 minutes. So I think you can actually have it record the last 10 minutes only. Kind of feature. Kind of reminds me of shadow play, but we'll find out what this thing can do. Alright, and we have a battery indicator over there, and as well as what kind of mode you're recording in. Seems like we're currently running at 1080p 30 FPS, and if you guys are wondering what the specs are, here are the specs right over here. It can actually record 4K. It's almost 4K, but it is not exactly 4K resolution, but there is a 4K option in the menus here somewhere, so let's take a look. Alright, so oh, there we go. So we're currently on video resolution. Let's click on that. And there we are. So there is a 4K at 30 frames per second, as well as 1080p at 30 frames per second. So let's move on here. Yep, and these are the only two options. So if you select that, there we go. We're now selected in 4K 30 FPS. So let's move on downwards here in the menus and see what we have. You got a recording sound option. You can disable the sound if you don't want it. If you have your own external recording source. If we go down, we have time lapse. That actually is really impressive. This thing has time lapse right out of the box. Unlike the LG 360 camera, the time lapse function came later on in a later update. It requires you to have your phone hooked up to it in order to switch to the time-lapse feature. So that is really cool. So yeah, let's move on downwards. Seems like we have a loop recording, whatever that is. Let's go in here. Slow motion. That is interesting. Guess we'll find out later. And yeah, these are the all the features on the first menu. Let's see if we can switch to the other menu somehow here. There we go. In the next menu we have exposure, so let's take a look inside here. And yeah, it's pretty much you can change the exposure on this thing. Pretty impressive. Move on here down to white balance, auto, sunny, cloudy, incandescent light, fluorescent light, and auto once again. Let's go back, move on downwards. You got Wi-Fi to stream the footage to your phone and see what's going on. Image rotation, driving mode, don't know what that is, we'll find out later. And light source frequency, that is actually pretty interesting. So probably to sync the frames with the light source so it doesn't show up as flickering in the video. And LED indicator light, you can disable it or enable it, as well as an auto screensaver, and lastly an auto shutdown function. Moving on to the last menu to exit the menu, just like that, and there we are. So again, it says 4K 30 FPS, so we can record at 4K. But yeah guys, that is actually pretty much it for this unboxing. This thing actually looks really impressive, very promising, very unique design compared to the LG 360 cam, as well as the Gear 360. And yeah, who knows, we'll see how well this 4K footage looks like. I am definitely excited. Hope you guys are too. But yeah guys, this was our first unboxing of a 360 camera on this channel. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care everyone.